Tēnā koutou e homa. Welcome back to another revision lesson. This is out of the Introduction to the Māori Language series put together by Tūranga Wāwai Kiwi, and this is out of your workbook 1, and this is revision lesson 14. Okay, and in revision lesson 14 we are looking at asking and saying how many things there are, which is on page 17 in your workbook, and this is the breakdown and the meaning. Okay, so on page 17 it is here is used to find out how many things there are. Okay, and so once again there are rules, even in the Māori language. Yes, there are rules. Okay, so one of the rules is here can be used for things or people. Okay, so some people do refer to here when they're asking about people, so that is allowed. You may hear it or you may not hear it, but we're just mentioning it here. We're not using it for people in this context, but we're mentioning it here because you may hear that out in the real world and not in the classroom. Okay, so here can be used for things or people, as opposed to toko here can only be used for people. Ka pai? And so when asking, once again, you always ask in plural form, because once again, if you ask with te or taku or tōku, you've already decided there's only one thing because you've cut off the answer, because taku can only refer to one thing, tōku can only refer to one thing, te can only refer to one thing. Okay, so that's why we always ask in plural form, so you've left it open. So even if there is only one thing, the answer will come back with te, but you always ask in plural form. Okay, so we always use o, ona, ngā, au, and ana. You can add some others, but this time we're just looking at these ones here, especially for the question form. Ka pai? So, let's take a look at the are and the or category. Yes, whānau, the are and the or category are in things as well. And so, examples of the are category, okay? So these are some of the things in the are category that we went over last week, and one of them was pene, and pene simply means, no, it's not a lady, pene, okay, pene simply means pen, okay? Puka puka is book, kapu is cup, tepu is table, okay? Naihi is knife, and pune, obviously, is spoon. Okay, so these are some of the ones we went over last week. So I've added these ones here to give you a more broad spectrum of some of the things that are in the are category. Okay, so that's the are category. Let's have a look at some of the examples in the or category. Okay, so some of the things are clothes and transport are some of the things in the are category. So we can look at things like hu, which is shoes, pōtai, which refers to hat, mōwhiti, glasses, and I said spectacles here, and that should be an A there, and I haven't corrected it. So that's a mistake I haven't corrected, but that's kei te pai. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Spectacles, so I did put spectacles there because mōwhiti, for glasses, people might think they're drinking glasses, okay? And so you can wear them as spectacles, but they'd look pretty stupid. And you'd have nothing to hang over your ears if you wear glasses on your eyes. So that's why I put spectacles there, because everybody knows what that means. Ka pai? So the other one is waka or motoka, okay, which is obviously a car, like motor car. Okay, here's another one, paihikara, which is bicycle, and taraka, which is pretty simple, okay, truck. So these ones on this side we went through, and I think we may have gone through waka last week, but paihikara and taraka I've added there to give you a bit more of a spectrum of some of the things in the or category. Okay, so moving on. So our first example is here au pene, which simply means how many pens do you have? Okay, and so that is simply saying Mr. Green is asking Mr. Blue how many pens he has. Okay, so I've jumped a little bit too far forward. And so that's what it looks like in your app. The answer has come back at e tahi aku pene, which simply means I have one pen. So Mr. Blue is saying to Mr. Green that he has one pen. Ka pai? So moving on, so we're going to take the break. We're going to look at the breakdown of that sentence structure. And the e here is referring to the how many. And in this context, we're talking about things. The o refers to your. Now, the reason we're using au as opposed to ohu, because a pen is in the a category. So you've got to make sure you get the right categories for these as well. E hoa ma. Okay, pene, okay, obviously refers to pen. And it's simply how many your pens. Okay, that should be pens, but that's kei te pai. So, the answer is how many pens do you have, friend? Oh, sorry. How many pens do you have? That's what that sentence is saying. So the answer is e tahi, which refers to the one. Taku refers to my, singular. Pene, okay, it's still in the a category, and taku, singular form. Pene refers to the pen. Okay, I have one pen. Ka pai? Moving on to the next example. E hia o pōtai. Okay, don't forget to sound out those macrons e hoa. E hia o pōtai. So you can practice these along as well as we go through them. When I say it, you say it too. Just to get that Māori language rolling off your tongue nice and smoothly like you guys have been in the classes. Okay, don't stop there. Practice it in here as well in these revision lessons. If I say something, you say something. Okay? So how many hats do you have is what that's saying. E hia o pōtai. How many hats do you have? And so once again we have the famous Mr. Green talking to the infamous Mr. Blue and asking him how many hats do you have. Okay? So here is the answer. E toru oku pōtai. So the answer has come back as I have 3 hats. And Mr. Blue here is simply replying to the question from Mr. Green that he has 3 hats. Ka pai. So we're going to look at we're breaking down that sentence structure. So the e here, once again, refers to the how many, referring to things in this context. O refers to the your. So hats is in the or category because... yeah, they're just in the all category, okay, because you wear them. They're like a piece of clothing, okay. Ka pai. Pōtai refers to the hats, okay. So I got this one right and put the S on the end for the o, okay. And so that simply means how many your hats. And to make it sound more simple or more grammatical, okay, I don't even know if that's a word, but there you have it. How many hats do you have? Okay. So the answer was e toru, which refers to 3, oku, which refers to my, still plural form because there's 3 of them, and pōtai refers to hats, so 3 my hats, okay, and that simply translates into I have 3 hats. Ka pai? So e hia ana puka puka, okay, is simply asking how many books does she have. Okay, so the ana refers to the she in this context. Here refers to the how many. Ka pai? So Mr. Green, is asking Mr. Blue how many books she has, or how many books does she have. Ka pai? And so the answer is e rua ana puka puka, which simply looks like this. She has 2 books. Ka pai? So that's what that looks like. She has 2 books. Okay, and so the reply has come back from Mr. Blue saying that this lady here simply has 2 books. Okay, and they both happen to be Bibles. Pai pera tapu, that is Bible. Ka pai? So we're going to take a look at the breakdown of that sentence structure, which is e here, which is referring once again to the how many. Ana, which is referring to the her. Puka puka, which is referring to books. Okay, and that simply means how many books does she have? Okay, and the answer came back at e rua, which refers to the two, ana, which refers to her or she, puka puka, once again, plural form, okay, refers to books, two, she books, okay, simply means she has two books, okay, or two books belonging to her. That's what ana means. It's a personal pronoun, something belonging to. Ka pai? So moving on to the next example, which is e hia ona waka, which is how many cars does he have? Okay, and so Mr. Green is asking Mr. Blue how many cars this guy has. Okay, and the answer has come back as e rua ona waka, and that simply means he has two cars. And so the reply is from Mr. Blue that this guy here has two cars. And he's pretty lucky if he's got those two cars. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Whānau. So Mr. Blue is replying to Mr. Green saying that this guy has two cars. Ka pai? Moving on to the sentence breakdown. So the e here, once again, as we know by now, is referring to the how many. Ona is referring to his, which is in the plural form. Waka, which refers to cars. Ka pai? And how many his cars? And the answer has come back at how many cars does he have? So we'll take a look at the answer now, the breakdown of that, which is e rua, which refers to two. Ona is referring to his. Waka refers to cars. Ka pai? To his cars. And simply translate into he has two cars. Ka pai? So we will move on to the next example, and e here is used to find out how many things there are using te and ngā. Okay, so e hia ngā manu is saying how many birds are there. Okay, and so that is Mr. Green here asking Mr. Blue, okay, how many birds there are. And so the answer has come back at e tahi te manu, which is simply saying there is one bird, and this is what it looks like. Okay, Mr. Blue is saying to Mr. Green that there is one bird, and this bird just happens to be a takahe. Okay, so this is a takahe, so there's one bird. So let's take a look at the sentence structure or breakdown of those two sentence structures. And the first part, once again, is e here, which is referring to the how many. Ngā, this time, is referring to the, which is in the plural form. And manu refers to birds. So it's simply saying how many the birds. Okay, which simply translates into how many birds are there. Okay, so the answer has come back at e tahi, which refers to one. Te refers to the. Manu refers to birds. Or should be bird there, but hey aha, never mind. So it's simply saying e tahi te manu, which means there is one bird. Ka pai? Moving on to the next sentence structure, which is e hia ngā ngeru. Okay, which simply means how many cats are there. And once again, Mr. Green talking to Mr. Blue, asking how many cats there are. E hia ngā ngeru. Don't forget to drag that macron on ngeru as opposed to ngeru. Ngeru. Ka pai? And the answer is e rima ngā ngeru. And that simply means there are 5 cats. And Mr. Blue is answering Mr. Green, simply saying that there are 5 cats. And if we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I should be saying tahi, rua, toru, wha, rima. And now it's your turn, like karaoke. Okay, ka pai whānau. So we'll move on to the breakdown of those examples. And the first one is e hia. Once again, we've been hearing it all morning, is referring to the how many. Ngā refers to the, in plural form because we always ask in plural form, and ngeru refers to cats. So how many the cats? Or simply put, how many cats are there? The answer was e rima, which refers to the 5. Ngā refers to the again in plural form because there's more than one. And ngeru refers to cats, and it's simply saying that there are 5 cats. Okay, whānau, thank you for tuning into this revision lesson. Ka kite anō, I will catch you at the next revision lesson. Ka kite anō and have a good day.